Aya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistikhi. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22 and Text 13. Ya Udyatam Anadrutya Ya Udyatam Anadrutya Kinasham Abhyachate Kinasham Abhyachate Shiyate Tad Yashaha Spitam Shiyate Tad Yasha Spitam Manasa Manaha Cha Avajnaya Ataha Manascha Avajnaya Ataha Ya Udyatam Anadrutya Kinasham Abhyachate Shiyate Tad Yasha Spitam Manascha Avajnaya Ataha Anadrutya Kinasham Abhyachate Spitam Manascha Avajnaya Ataha Spitam Ya Udyatam Anadrutya Kinasham Abhyachate Chiyate Yadyasha Spitam Manascha Avajnayataha Yaha who Udyatam an offering Anadrutya rejecting Kinasham from a miser Abhyachate begs Shiyate is lost Tat his Yashaha reputation Spitam widespread Manaha Hana Cha and Avajnaya by neglectful behavior Hataha destroyed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Vedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Translation: one who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord but later begs a boon from a miser thus loses his widespread reputation and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others. Please repeat. One who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord but later begs a boon from a miser thus loses his widespread reputation and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The general procedure of Vedic marriage is that a father offers his daughter to a suitable boy. That is a very respectable marriage. A boy should not go to the girl's father and ask for the hand of his daughter in marriage. That is considered to be humbling one's respectful position. Swayambhu Manu wanted to convince Kardama Muni, since he knew that the sage wanted to marry a suitable girl. I am offering just such a suitable wife. Do not reject the offer, or else, because you are in need of a wife, you will have to ask for such a wife from someone else who may not behave with you so well. In that case, your position will be humbled. Another feature of this incident is that Swayambhu Manu was the emperor, but he went to offer his qualified daughter to a poor Brahmana. Kardama Muni had no worldly possessions. He was a hermit living in the forest, but he was advanced in culture. Therefore, in offering one's daughter to a person, the culture and quality are counted as prominent, not wealth or any other material consideration. Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Purpoto Madhyanatimirand Dasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshta Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Swayambhu Manu is trying to convince Kardama Muni to marry his daughter. He is talking about a social dynamics that comes into play during marriages. He is saying, on its own you are getting the marriage offer, so please accept. If you do not accept, then since you are wanting to marry, you may have to go to somebody else and beg their daughter, and they may not treat you properly. So that will actually, you will lose your widespread reputation, because somebody talks of you very in a low terms, and so your pride will be humbled by this neglectful behavior of everyone towards you. So kind of Swayambhu Manu is explaining the social dynamics to the sage. So that's the verse here. The point is, why is Bhagavatam describing elaborately the social dynamics of a marriage, one king's daughter and some sage? Why is it spending so many verses and slokas to explain all this? We have to remember that Devahuti and Kardama, their marriage is not an ordinary marriage. The Lord is going to appear as their son. So they are not ordinary personalities. It is an extraordinary marriage. So devotees who want to become attached to the Supreme Lord, they know that in order to make the Lord pleased with us, we should also respect His associates and this, particularly the ones who are acting as His parents. The Lord is very pleased if His exalted devotees are respected. And then also we have to show eagerness to hear about those exalted parents or associates. Those all these activities or pastimes may look like some ordinary affairs, wherein you know in the regular world you see all these sentences and all that, but actually both Kadama Muni and Swayambhu Manu knows that this is a divine plan, but they are just executing their social responsibilities. That's also important. There is one a poet. He writes in one of the in one of the places that Shrutim apare smrutim itare bharatam anye bhajantu bhavabhitaha. People are afraid of this bhava, material existence, so they worship Shruti, Vedas, Smruti, the supplementary Puranas, and Bharatam, Mahabharat. They are all fearful and they are worshipping all these Vedas and all these literatures. Aham iha, but he has decided to worship Nandam Vande. I shall worship Nanda Maharaj because Yasyalinde Parabrahma, because in his courtyard the Parabrahma is crawling. Parabrahma, the Supreme Brahman, Krishna is crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. So I worship Nanda Maharaj. So this is the, he doesn't want to worship Vedas or Puranas or Mahabharata. He is saying, I want to worship Nanda Maharaj. This is the mood of a devotee. He knows what pleases Krishna, the Parabrahma, and then so he is very eager to understand the pastimes of such associates. If there is a story of how Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, they got married, what is their background, devotees will be eager to learn all such detailed understanding of who can be Krishna's parents. Such details are revealed in the 10th canto. We will come to know who are these Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. So similarly here also there is a lot of details are explained about the interaction between Kardama Muni and Swayambhu Manu. So they are not ordinary personalities. They are going to become instrumental in bringing Lord Kapila into this world. And then Lord Kapila would give the famous Sankhya philosophy. So this is a very important point. So that's why we are trying to understand. So here Swayambhu Manu is explaining a social custom. That if somebody offers you something, you accept. Otherwise you have to beg from many misers. So this is, he is trying to convince the sage. So Prabhupada is saying here, although the sage is not having proper money, he is not a wealthy person, he is living in a very humble hermitage. So, but still he is advanced in culture, and that's so the Swayambhu Manu has come there. During Vedic culture or ancient times, Sampada means Daivi Sampada. It is divine wealth. Only that is considered as wealth. And what is this divine wealth? That Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya. This wealth is such that as you accumulate this wealth, it should cause Vimokshaya, liberation from this material existence. This is called wealth. The definition of wealth is that go on accumulating these wonderful qualities called Daivi Sampad, godly qualities have to be accumulated. and then that becomes a wealth, divine wealth. So the divine wealth will take you out of this world, material existence. But Asuri Sampad, there is one more Sampada is there, and that is demoniac wealth that actually binds the person into this world. For example, what is this Asuri demoniac qualities? That is again explained in the 16th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Just few items we will see. Dambho dharpo abhimanascha krodha parushamevacha bijatasya pardha sampadamasurim. Here there is a different kind of a sampada. And what is that? Asuri sampada. What is that? Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demoniac nature. So this is Asuri Sampada. But there is a divine, godly qualities are mentioned here. So that's a big list is there. Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Danam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayascha Taparjavam. So Krishna, he elaborates in the 16th chapter that there are two types of sampada, there are two types of qualities. So the society or the civilization should be molded in such a way that everybody accumulates Daivi Sampad. This is called real civilization. Actually, our Vedic culture was like that. In India, people were not so much bothered about this external show of this so-called wealth, the paper currency. That was never considered a wealth actually. They were worried about developing this Daivi Sampad. How we can get liberated from these material conditions. This was so that's why that culture is called divine culture. There is a culture. What is culture? Culture means you will recognize a culture by looking at their ideas. As a group, what is their idea? Their customs, their social behavior. All these things put together, it is called culture. It's a collective, visible collective manifestation of their intellectual ideas and customs and all that. For example, as soon as they come to our movement, so for example, one thing that they will strikingly observe is that everybody says chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. This is the culture. Our culture is culture of this Harinam. The culture. I ask some people, you have been coming for many days. What do the devotees ask you? They all say, whenever we come, they say, how many rounds you are chanting? Please chant Hare Krishna. Nobody asks what is your caste. Nobody will ask what is your how much you have in bank account. They won't ask like that. They rather go in the. And then in Hare Krishna movement, they know prasadam means full meal. After any festival, if you go, they will give you a full meal. This is called culture. That means it's part of the system, part of the belief system, and everybody follows that. Everybody expects that and everybody follows that. This is called culture. So, this culture should enhance divine qualities. Any culture should enhance divine qualities. This culture can be many types of culture. For example, they'll say now the current youth culture, some are current family culture, scientific culture, like that they use this word culture like that. But the definition given by Shastra is that culture means that which is permanent. This is called culture. If it is not permanent, then it is not called culture. For example, in 1960s, when Srila Prabhupada went to America, there was a counter-culture. The youngsters do not want to adhere to the norms and beliefs of their parents, and they want to have their own. In fact, they want to go opposite to the existing culture. It's called counter-culture. See, they want to create something else. And some of the historians gave that culture a name called hippies. They're called hippies, like that. So, this world, you will see so many cultures come and go. So, they are not considered as cultures. They are actually some kind of fashions for sense gratification, that's all. So, how is this culture established? This permanent values, permanent qualities in human being, how it is established? So it is very nicely described in Ishopanishad. So here it is mentioned that Anyat evahu vidyaya nyadahu avidyaya iti shushuma dhiranam enastad vichachakshare. The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge and a different result is obtained from culture of ignorance. So we have seen Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna is saying culture of knowledge will give you Daivi Sampad, so it will liberate you, and culture of ignorance will give you a different kind of a result, and that is to bind you. Now what is this culture of knowledge? How we can become knowledgeable so that I can develop all these Daivi qualities? So that is explained in the purport by Prabhupada very nicely. The culture of knowledge has these 18 steps. 18 items are there, listed here. One should become a perfect gentleman and learn to give proper respect to others. Now this is the first item. One should become gentleman and then he should give proper respect to others. This is one of the items of knowledge. So somebody comes to know, okay, this is how I have to be. So, and then he tries to inculcate this piece of knowledge into his system. It goes little deeper. First, knowledge has to become understanding. He understands. And then that understanding will manifest in his behavior, in his thinking. That is becoming more deeper. And he gives very big value for this item. Oh, I have to become a gentleman and I have to give proper respect to others. It becomes a great value for me. And when he sees somebody is not respecting, he'll think, this is not good. See, his judgmental system, his value system has changed. So that means it has become a quality of a person. So knowledge, it begins with knowledge, but it slowly becomes your quality. And that quality is Daivi Sampad. That is your wealth. That quality will remain with you whole life, life after life. This is in relation to Krishna. Actually, all this knowledge and qualities, they will not survive if one is not God conscious or Krishna conscious. So, once in relation to Krishna, these things will become permanently inscribed. Then second one should not pose himself as a religionist simply for name and fame. So many people, they take to these rituals, religious rituals, only to show off for name and fame. But actually the Shastra is saying this is not proper culturing of knowledge. It is actually ignorance, because only his passion or his ahankara is increasing by this. Third, one should not become a source of anxiety to others by the actions of his body, by the thoughts of his mind, or by his words. Now this is third point. We should not become source of anxiety for others. So that is one more point. So some of these points are very striking to us, and then we would like to exhibit those behaviors, and so that is good. Then one has to now realize this text. Understanding has to be there. Then in these circumstances I have to be like this. In these circumstances I have to be like this. One contemplates. Hearing knowledge, getting clarity in the mind is only a beginning stage. But that doesn't mean that there is a transformation. It has to be shown up in the practical life. Then only it is considered your quality. This person is of a quality means it should be reflected in his thinking and in his understanding. So that's why it is mentioned here. One should not become a source of anxiety. Next, one should learn forbearance even in the face of provocation from others. Okay, I am not becoming source of anxiety to others, but they may become source of anxiety for me. Then it is saying you should be tolerant, forbearing. That means like a tree. Mahaprabhu gives this principle. He said that yes, even if somebody is attacking or trying to take fruits and so many things, the tree is forbearing. So similarly, we should also be like that. And one should learn to avoid duplicity in his dealing with others. So there are two terms here, duplicity and simplicity. So for practicing of Krishna consciousness, this simplicity or straightforwardness is recommended, not duplicitous behavior, particularly within the Vaishnava dealings. Among the Vaishnavas, we should have straightforward, simple dealings. There is no complex calculations inside, and then you put up something else, and inside your heart there is something else, and then you calculate so many things, and then that is not simple. For example, simplicity means you don't have to plan so much. There is no calculation. Whatever is there, you directly tell. This is without duplicity. Next, one should search out a bona fide spiritual master who can lead him gradually to the stage of spiritual realization, and one must submit himself to such a spiritual master, render him service, and ask relevant questions. Out of whatever we have read now, this is very crucial step. The devotees who have accepted Prabhupada as the spiritual master, they are fortunate. They have taken the biggest step in order to develop godly qualities and lead progress in the path of liberation. Next one, in order to approach the platform of self-realization, one must follow the regulative principles enjoined in the revealed scriptures. So like this we will see how progressively we can develop these qualities. All these knowledge items should convert into deep qualities in us. We value them. We want to follow them. Our behavior will reflect them. This is the nature of devotees. They are very eager to transform themselves. And next, one must be fixed in the tenets of the revealed scriptures. This is one more quality. We should be very, very fixed in the tenets of the revealed scripture. Shastric injunctions means a devotee will have great value. He will not budge from those. Tenets means conclusions, are the principles of Shastra. Let the 1,000 people come and talk against the scripture, he will not budge. He knows it has come from the Vedic literature, from my spiritual master, so I will accept this as final. These 1,000 people may not agree, or they may have a different version, but it doesn't mean that we go by majority. We go by what spiritual master has given us. One should completely refrain from practices which are detrimental to the interests of self-realization. So anything against Krishna consciousness, we should completely reject, refrain. Then one should not accept more than he requires for the maintenance of the body. One should maintain this body certainly, because this is very important for our practice of self-realization, but one should not be eager to acquire more and more in the name of maintenance of this body. It should be maintained in such a way that your health is intact, that's all. Self-preservation is the only criteria. You should preserve yourself, your life, your body together, and then go on with your services. In fact, Bhagavatam says, there is nothing wrong in asking the Lord for self-preservation of our health. It is permitted. In the first canto, Bhagavatam, hear this, that it says, yes, for self-preservation, we can approach the Lord. And then, one should not falsely identify himself with gross material body. This is one. Okay, health we have to take care, my body. So one should not become too much attached to this health and body and mind and all that. That's why immediately the Shastra is saying, one should not falsely identify himself with the gross material body, nor should one consider those who are related to this body to be his own. So then how should I handle my health issues and mental issues? It should be done without any emotions, dispassionately, as a matter of duty. The way you handle your scooter or car and take it to mechanic, nobody will shed tears that my car is going to mechanic now, and then I don't know, nobody will do that, right? Dispassionately. Don't put your emotions on this matter in this material body. It is not worth. It is actually dead. But as soon as you put your emotions there, it appears to be living. And then this so-called living matter will pull you to enjoy more and more. Come, come, come. It will always be like that. But who is empowering that matter like that? That Maya? We are giving attention. We are pouring our emotions. We are thinking, oh, this is all real. Immediately Maya catches. Yes, come here. I'll show you one movie today. You are so interested. Okay, I'll show you one movie. So this is the problem. Then one should always remember that as long as he has a material body, he must face the miseries of repeated birth, old age, disease and death. So one will get diseases, one will get death. This is expected. It's not a surprise. Particularly people who are in knowledge, they know I have this body means I have to get diseases, I will get death also. They are prepared. For example, summer, we are all prepared. Some precautions we are taking. Similarly, one should be ready that yes, he will become old, he will have diseases, he will have death, he should be ready. And what is that ready? Again, dispassionately make some arrangements. Don't get attached. For example, the doctor will say, from now onwards, you can never take sweets. My life is finished. No, be dispassionate. It's okay. The body already ate so much sweet. Now it doesn't require sweet for the rest of the life. better, better I give up. Very important that we handle this body and then diseases carefully. There is no use in making plans to get rid of these miseries of the material body. No use making big plans. The best course is to find out the means by which one may regain a spiritual identity. This is the only. Go on identifying. How can I progress in this circumstance towards Krishna? Then one should not be attached to more than the necessities of life required for spiritual advancement. Now this is the criteria. Many people, they say, we're not finding time, we have so much work, we're all pressurized. For example, practicing devotees, they will say, Prabhu, so much, and it's all becoming complicated. But here, this is the culture of knowledge. What is that? Should not be attached to more than the necessities of life required for Krishna consciousness. For your Krishna consciousness, you need this much necessity, you get it. Beyond that, don't get it. Your chanting bag has gone bad, worn out, okay, you purchase one more chanting bag. Don't purchase some 100 machines to make your life simple, thinking that then I will be able to chant nicely. If I can get these 100 machines, no. This is like Gita, Samsara, that example. You will not gain time. One should not be more attached to wife, children and home than the revealed scriptures ordain. Apparently the scriptures are, there is married life permitted, but one is not allowed to get attached more than what is recommended in the Shastra. It's not that if somebody enters into Grihastha life, there are no rules. It's all free. It's a highway. No. You have to know that one cannot be he cannot be so much attached, completely attached to his family affairs. One more, one should not be happy or distressed over desirables and undesirables, knowing that such feelings are just created by the mind. It's very important. One should be disassociated with the mind's so-called desirables and undesirables. In the mind, some thoughts may come which are undesirable. Sometimes in the mind, some crazy things may appear. But here Bhagavad Gita is guiding us. Ishopanishad is saying us that one should not be bothered about all this. He should not be happy or distressed over desirables and undesirables, knowing that such feelings are just created by the mind. Why should I give so much of importance? What happens in the mind? Even desirables also, you should not be so excited about all this. Next, one should become an unalloyed devotee of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna and serve him with rapt attention. Now this is the key. The culture of knowledge means one should serve Krishna with rapt attention. Then 17, one should develop a liking for residence in a secluded place with a calm and quiet atmosphere favorable for spiritual culture, and one should avoid congested places where non-devotees congregate. One should have a liking. For example, they want to live in Golden Temple, where there is a atmosphere favorable for spiritual culture. Here also there is a lot of congregation is there, but it is not. It's not a non-devotee congregation. They are all devotees. So there should be a liking to live in such places like this. Then finally it says, one should become a scientist or a philosopher and conduct research into spiritual knowledge. See, if somebody is eager to do some kind of a research, he has scientific temperament, he wants to get more deep into all this, it is encouraged into spiritual knowledge, recognizing that spiritual knowledge is permanent, whereas material knowledge ends with the death of this body. These 18 items, they are called culture of knowledge, and they give the Daivi Sampad. And then actually this purport you should read, this Ishopanishad. It explains that in the modern society, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to elderly men. Due to wrong type of education being imparted in the universities, boys all over the world are giving their elders headaches. Prabhupada is mentioning the current situation. Education means he should become humble, respectful. That's the first point we read. One should be gentleman and he should respect appropriately. Now, if that is not there, then what is this education and what is this culture? So people are struggling by forgetting Vedic culture. They are struggling with the modern man-created culture, and then there are so many repercussions by which everybody is suffering. So the key thing is accept the shelter of a Dhira, a spiritual master, Prabhupada, and then serve Krishna with rapt attention. Then one will automatically develop all these good qualities. We'll stop here. Any questions? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.